it's kind of soured, and that's what I'd like to do is take the energy that was developed at that discussion and let's get it to, let management come up with, you know, with the proposal and go back to the board members, because there was one member that I think never showed up. Don't even know it. Never seen it. So the idea was that it needed to be done at a higher level, but and you know, I guess that was one way to look at it, but that didn't get us there, and I think a lot of the problems get solved here and then taken to the elected, so that's the way we got to go.
I think that just after following that product is that we probably should charge the management committee that opportunity to have to come back here and have the management committee, you know, run with the timeline and report periodically to the general counsel, if I may, but with some timelines and some objectives and, like I said, some action plans. Your first step in terms of regional transportation committee with the state government certainly very doable. But you know, those are steps that we need to take. But I think it needs to come back to this committee here so that we can take some. I would recommend that we should harness it here, the energy here, particularly after the city managers meeting, and set up some action plans and timelines and move with it. But as a task force from this committee.
And those steps, I mean, we're to introduce a bill. You know, we're not done with the last session yet, but if we want to go through bringing it to management, bringing it to regional council, and having them endorse us going, and then getting a bill introduced, my preference would be to do it, you know, get it introduced in those couple of days in December when they come in. So if we start backing off when we need the authority and when we need to go find a member that's going to carry it. Of course, we don't have as many choices as other regions do. But, and of course, we don't know who one of those two people might be. I won't know until the first Wednesday in November. But we would want to late this summer be figuring it out so that as soon as that person decides that they're going to carry it, they can go to legislative council, have it drafted, and put it in the hopper that day, and we can start moving on it. So, yeah.
Well, the legal next steps, as far as where to go with that, it is on the agenda for us to consider today, but the action we're talking about going to the state and looking into transportation commissions for IVAG, to have it at least get that status. Is that something that staff could place on the regional council's agenda in the upcoming months to consider?
Yeah, we should do it. What I'd like to see us do is our next meeting of management, you know, actually take action to do that, and then the following meeting we'll take it to regional council, and then we'll.
And then associated with that, would you consider in that same action requesting the regional council to abort the effort of the ad hoc committee as it sits today and allow the management committee an opportunity to make an alternative recommendation?
Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. You know, we're going to get down to really figuring out what the costs are going to be to liberate IVAG from the county, and that's something that we'll all have the wherewithal to figure out what those kinds of budgets are, what the money needed is, and so on, and make the recommendation, and then go to full city councils.
Laura, I must have read for Rose. The resolution that's coming from the city of El Centro, has it gotten to you folks yet or not? Okay, we work on these things a month in advance. It's going on the 16th, and the resolution will said it calls out all these things and asking the regional council to get on with the committee, because the committee's charter actually expired a year ago. So because that, you're going to see that, I think on the next at the regional council, my representative, the South Central representative, is using the opportunity to ask the board to direct staff to work with the management committee to do exactly what you're talking about. So you're not going to wait 2 more months. You can do this in 2 weeks, because we have an item that says, City Central wants you to get on with the regional council, with exactly what happened 18 months ago. Use that as your impetus to get this committee to do a work plan, and we do exactly everything we're talking about. So, is that feasible? If that is coming up, Sedale's going to be bringing that resolution.
Has Sedalia contacted you? Can you make sure Sedalia gets it on the agenda? That would be.
It's going tomorrow.
Okay.
Next Wednesday to the council. And it's, by the way, it's a very generic resolution. It just calls out exactly what happened 18 months ago. They had a 6-month time window. And I think John Eddie's out actually talking to other electeds trying to have them do a similar resolution saying, look, let's get on with this. Whatever those steps are. We don't want to get mired in with the last step because we'll never get a decision. Fine, we'll do CTC this year.
This
we'll
is
do
about
something
you
next year.
can come up with a plan and put a real plan in front of the electors. I think that's what it is.
Great.
Do you have that resolution on share with everybody?
It's going through the council, and, but there won't be any surprise. It just says, whereas that the General Assembly did this in February of '06, and that this is needed for our continued growth, is that the regional council developed a plan to move this along. And Grace, you've probably seen much of that. Is that pretty much?
Basic wording, I can email a draft.
Yeah, in fact,
For the final.
if the final's ready to go, it's out to the city clerk. Would you go ahead and, actually, if you get to Rose, you can forward it on to all the members.
If you can email it to me, we meet on the same night as the El Centro City Council, which would try to place a similar resolution on our agenda for next Wednesday if I did it.
I think you'll find it very generic. We kept it, we didn't get into it, who did what, it's just, it's time to get on to it.
Yeah.
And it's asking with regard to management?
Well, it doesn't go that far, it just says to get on with the project, and that's where Bob and Rosa has the opportunity, IVAC staff has the opportunity to say, here's what we should do. Because staff, that's what you should be doing.
I think as a next agenda item to follow up on that is to have agendized a resolution that the IVAC consider placing the responsibilities in the management committee. Then maybe that takes some, we could move this along,
Yes.
but we could make it official to go back down to the stuff.
But we can definitely, right now, at next management
Right.
meeting, we'll have this, we'll have this on the agenda and keep it on the agenda before we go to plan. Oh. Another handout, public workshop coming up on the Forester Road corridor study. Meetings will be in El Centro, what are the dates?
So, in El Centro, it's Wednesday, July 16th, and it's more than Thursday, July 17th. I'm sure you've already received the email.
And this is one of the items that's on the transportation plan. Obviously, Highway 86, which is supposed to connect the north and basically the Coachella Valley with the border is dysfunctional. It goes nothing but through cities now, and so eventually there needs to be some north-south artery that takes that workload, and this is the one that our transportation plan says, so now we want to get public comments on it. That's all.
Nothing in the street?
I think, that's just placed on each time?
Yeah, but we don't have any.
Nothing, if you're interested, there, as essentially the administrator of it, we've signed a number of grant applications for the used oil grants, the typical ones you get each year. So those, Bob's continuing to bring those items through with the applications that we're running up. Aside from that, that's it.
Okay, management committee members?
Look around the table, or just some, do you want to jump in and continue back to report?
Well, Ron's got the big one.
Yeah.
From the tree.
Talk